What's up everyone, Lou here for Golf Avenue, and today we're looking at the 10 most forgiving drivers according to our team of experts. We'll take a look at each club individually, we'll address their appearance, their pros, their cons, and we'll also let you know why we believe that each one of them is suited to your needs. Let's get right into it and look at our first club. First up, we're looking at the TalyorMade Darkspeed Max. It was released with this year's line of release from Cobra. It's a very dark club head profile, complete with nice red accents as you can see here. One of the main perks was its forgiveness. Our experts couldn't stop raving about it, and they needed to know where all this forgiveness came from. So let's take a closer look at it. The sole features a set of adjustable weights. One's a 3-gram weight and the other's a 12-gram weight. Switch them around either at the back of the club head or right below the heel right here to mix up the ball trajectory. So if you put the heavier weight at the back of the club head, you're gonna get higher launch, higher spin levels. If you put the heavier weight closer to the heel of the club head, you're gonna get more draw bias, and you're still gonna get those nice high launching conditions, just with a stronger draw bias. Its forgiveness is very impressive, but it packs quite the punch and impact. The Power Shell Hot Face, a technology exclusive to Cobra, has been expanded by 13%, making the club more forgiving and also allowing you to hit straighter and better strikes even if you missed the sweet spot on the club face. The only downside our experts could find with this club was its bigger club head size, but that shouldn't be an issue for beginners or less experienced golfer. Actually, it should serve as more of a sign of confidence at the dress because you have a larger club head and it's easier to make contact. Overall, we'd say that the Darkspeed Max driver is suited to a wide variety of golfers, starting from less experienced golfers to more advanced golfers looking to counter a slice or get higher launch angles at impact or simply get more forgiveness out of their driver at impact. Whether you're highly experienced or just getting started in the sport, you can't go wrong with this one. Next up, we're looking at TalyorMade's latest release, the Qi10 Max. This driver features another massive club head. One of the main features from this driver is again the twist face technology, which is a signature from TalyorMade. This club face technology allows to straighten out your strikes, especially the ones that miss the center of the club face. Strikes in the sweet spot will produce great results, but strikes that miss the sweet spot closer to the toe or the heel will result in decent strikes thanks to the twist face technology. And the 60-layer carbon is also back once again. TalyorMade has really delved into the carbon club face technology, and it's back once again on the Qi10 Max from the stealth models. In terms of performance, the Qi10 Max is extremely stable throughout the swing. The 10 in the name comes from 10,000 MOI. The MOI, which is moment of inertia, a threshold that TalyorMade was able to reach with the specific driver. The club also features higher spin levels, which should help golfers with slower swing speed get the ball in the air with more ease. And lastly, the only downside that our experts could find with this driver was its price tag. At $599 US, it is a bit pricey for most beginners or less experienced golfers. So overall, this driver is a great driver, especially for beginners or golfers who are just getting started. Only downside is the price might be a bit too steep for especially golfers who are only getting their feet wet in the sport, if you will. In this case, you might want to look at the more affordable options, and lucky for you, this list is full of them. So let's look at our next driver. Our third driver in this list is a Ping G430 Max. It also features a very dark club head profile, complete with the signature Ping turbulators at the top of the club head right here. It's another massive club head, just like the two other drivers we looked at so far in this list. This massive footprint should help golfers build more confidence when they're standing over the golf ball at address. One of the things that struck our experts during their time with the driver was its impressive consistency despite them missing the sweet spot. So what would happen is that it would hit off-center strikes with this club and the ball would still end up in the fairway almost every single time. So this driver has great forgiving attributes. The other thing that really stands out is its distance performance compared to the previous generation. It really ups the distance, but these gains in distance might not be as obvious for everyone who uses that driver, just because it might be better suited to get more distance out of golfers with a slower swing speed. The other thing that really struck our expert is the ability to adjust the club however they wanted. They have the adjustable loft sleeve here that allows them to customize the loft angle, and you also have this tungsten weight here at the back of the club head, which allows golfers to either put the club in a more of a draw bias, more of a fade bias, or keep it right down the middle and help give the ball more higher launch angles at impact or more spin at impact. The only small downside that our experts could find with this driver is that the feedback on impact is not the best. You really have to hit the ball really close to the toe, really close to the heel to actually feel something different than a natural or pure strike. So overall, we'd say that this driver is probably suited to any golfer who's looking for a bit more distance and forgiveness off the tee. If you're really looking for more feel or more control over a golf ball, this model might not be the best one for you. We'd suggest looking at a lower spin model from Ping, maybe the G430 LST or maybe the G425 LST that was released last year. Our fourth driver in this list is the Titleist TSr2. Right away, the simple yet clean look of the TSr2 is what struck our experts. A very dark club head with simple lines, complete with this small TSR alignment aid here right at the top of the club head. This club looks amazing and it sounds even better at impact. A very subdued sound, very small but clear, concise sound that you like to hear. The only other thing is once you have it in your hand, you'll want to try it even more just because it looks so good, but it feels even better when the ball comes out the club face. Performance-wise, our experts agreed that the club feels incredibly light, especially when it makes contact with the golf ball. It just feels like the ball catapults off the club face. Overall, they also mentioned that the club did deliver in terms of distance, so the ball not only feels like it catapults off the club face, it actually flies right off and goes for miles. The TSr2 doesn't skimp out on forgiveness since it's featured in this list today. In terms of downside, the only thing that our experts could point out was maybe shorter strikes, a little less forgiveness on some of their strikes, but overall, the vast majority of them, it was very forgiving and did deliver plenty of distance. This driver is perfectly suited for golfers of any skill level. Anybody who slotted this driver in their bag would be happy with it. The only person I would see who maybe is more targeted to this driver is a big Titleist fan looking for some extra forgiveness when they're teeing off with their driver. Next up, we're looking at Srixon ZX5 MKII driver. It features a dark matte black club head, which is an improvement over the previous generation's glossy finish, which tended to reflect the sun when you were standing up above the ball of the dress. It features a dark club head profile, which is very typical of what we've looked at today for the other models as well. The other thing it has in common with the other drivers we looked at today is its subdued sound at impact. It's really reduced to be more minimal. However, it still delivers a clear enough sound that you're able to tell whether you hit a good strike or a poor strike. Feel-wise, this club doesn't only give you feedback through the sound it makes, it also gives you feedback through the vibration you get through the shaft at impact. Clear strikes right in the middle will feel great, will give you a very solid feel of the contact. Strikes that miss the sweet spot will definitely feel odd in your hands or have unpleasant vibration. The other thing to note in terms of performance is a typical Srixon driver. It'll give you high ball speeds, high ball flights, and consistency time and time again when you're teeing off with this one, so you can always rely on it. The only downside that our experts could find with this driver is its higher spin levels, which means that in some cases you might lose out a bit of distance just because the ball is way too spinny for you to manage to get all the distance you want. This is especially the case for golfers with higher swing speed. They might not get all the distance they want out of this driver just because it produces so much spin. But golfers with slower swing speed who struggle to get the ball in the air will fall in love with this one. This driver is perfectly suited for less experienced golfers or beginners looking for a very forgiving option that will still give him plenty of distance off the tee. More experienced golfers with higher swing speed might want to look at other options that will give him more control over a golf ball or more feel for the ball, allowing them to shape their shots more off the tee. The sixth driver in our list is the 2023 version of the Cobra RX driver. The first thing you'll notice is the offset here near the hosel, which creates a natural close face angle for the club, which helps counter your slice at impact. But that's not the only thing that the RX does to counter your slice. It's got this weighting system here at the bottom of the club head, which helps counter side spin, in turn limiting the chances of you hitting a slice off the tee. The other thing that stood out to our expert was the light feel of this club. It's so light, in fact, that it's probably best suited for golfers with slower swing speed who struggle to feel the club while they're swinging or struggle to make consistent impact with the golf ball when they're swinging their club. In terms of downside, it's really hard to identify anything particular with this one. The only thing we'd probably say is that golfers with higher swing speed or more power should probably look at other options, simply for the fact that this one might just be a little too spinny for them or launch the ball a little too high, which could make them lose out on some yardage when they're striking the ball. Overall, it's very easy to say that this driver is perfectly suited to less experienced golfers and beginners just because it'll suit them in every way they need. It'll give them more forgiveness, it'll give them more distance off the tee, and it's super lightweight, which makes it easier for them to control when they're swinging. So highly skilled golfers and more experienced golfers, you might want to look at other options that are maybe more low spinning, heavier weighted in the club head. Next up, we're looking at a Callaway Rogue ST Max driver. Right away, the matte finish on the top of the club head gives it a very elegant look, and it's well suited with this golden yellowish tungsten cartridge at the back of the club head. The speed cartridge here at the back of the club head is designed to enhance forgiveness and also help golfers who struggle to get the ball in the air airborne more easily with higher spin levels. The Rogue ST Max's look gives you a great idea of how forgiving it will be. It delivers impressive distance, especially for a club that is designed to be so forgiving. Our experts mentioned that strikes that will find the sweet spot will feel like a trampoline off the club face, giving you incredible distances on those strikes. The only small downside that we could find with this club is that it's got a draw bias. So golfers already have a tendency to hit the draw off the tee or already favor the left side of the course, especially for righties. You might want to look at other options, but for golfers who are fighting off a slice and looking to keep spin levels a little lower in terms of side spin, this will be a great option to add in your bag. So overall, we would say that the Rogue ST Max is best suited to beginners and less experienced golfers alike. They'll find whatever they need out of this driver, the ever sought after forgiveness, higher spin levels, higher launch angles, they'll find it all with this driver. It's so good, in fact, it was featured in a list of the best Callaway drivers under 325. If you want to take a look at this, make sure you head to the link in the description. Next up, we're looking at the Cleveland Launcher XL Lite draw driver. The first thing you'll notice with this driver is the massive club head on this one. It stretches the volume limits of modern day drivers to help give you a boost of confidence at address, but also more forgiveness on missed strikes at impact. This larger club head puts more of a focus on ball flight correction and straightening your strikes off the tee. Behind the club face, you find flexible sections surrounded by firmer ones to help create a springy feel off the club face so that the ball launches faster and higher off the club face. Its club head size and forgiveness help to make it one of the most reliable drivers in the market, but its true perk is perhaps the counterbalance weight located in its shaft to help give you more of a feel for the ball at impact and also keep the club more stable throughout the swing. As the draw in its name indicates, this club features a soled club face, which helps to close the angle of the club face slightly to help counter the effects of a possible slide. The only downside that the experts could find with this driver was its very metallic sound at impact, but the distance and the forgiveness it provides more than make up for its weird sound at impact. So basically, this driver is exactly what a beginner or less experienced golfer should be looking like if they're looking for the perfect blend of forgiveness, distance, and lightweight feel for their club. It's a great option if you're looking to upgrade from your previous driver, or if you're simply looking to get your hands on your first driver. It'll be perfect for them and it'll help counter their slice with the slightly closed face angle. Our second to last driver in this list is the Wilson Dynapower carbon driver. The first thing you'll notice with this driver is the massive carbon insert on the top of the club head. This stretches out from right behind the club face where there's a first ledge right here that's fully titanium, but you also have this carbon patch that stretches all the way back to the back of the club head to help make the club lighter throughout the swing. Performance-wise, it does produce sort of a hollow pop when you make contact with the golf ball, but what you really like about it is the feel for the ball it provides, which is impressive, especially considering it's a game improvement driver. The Dynapower Carbon has a low center of gravity that is focused towards the front of the club face to help lower spin levels at impact to maybe, hopefully, reduce the chances of hitting a slice off the tee. Also, any strike near the sweet spot or center of club face will make for higher ball speed, in turn delivering longer strikes for you. And while the spin levels on this driver are really lower than most game improvement drivers, it's nowhere near any of the low spinning options that you might find on the market. This club has another interesting perk when it comes to the adjustable loft sleeves, which allows you to customize your loft angle whenever you're teeing off with this driver. Overall, beginners should find a friend in the Dynapower carbon driver simply because of just how much forgiveness it provides off the tee. Golfers looking for more accuracy or even more control over the golf ball might want to look at other options that will provide them better feel for the ball impact. Golfers who put a premium on accuracy and control over the golf ball, they might want to look at other options that are available out in the market. So we're going back in time a bit with this one with the Cleveland XL HiBore driver. It is a bit of an older model, but it still rivals with the modern drivers of today. First up, let's look at the driver. It features a gunmetal finish, something that you really don't see anymore on drivers, but it really suits the look of this one. Also, if you look at the odd shape of the club head, it's really unique, something you definitely don't see anymore with the concave club head, especially the crown, which is really bending to the inside. But it did help to provide a higher moment of inertia for this driver by lowering the center of the gravity, really near the sole of the club. And while it doesn't feature as many technological perks as some of the other drivers we reviewed here today, it does make the most out of the small adjustment it has. And as we mentioned, the center of gravity is really moved to the back with this particular club head shape. So this helps also provide more forgiveness and higher spin levels at impact for better launch conditions. These two aspects really stood out to our experts during their time with the club. They felt like they could launch the ball with ease every single time, and that the ball felt like it flew for miles in the air before dropping down to the ground. They also pointed out to the weight distribution, making for an insane sweet spot that was almost bigger than anything they tried out for this video. On the downside though, while the ball does feel like it flies forever in the air, it actually doesn't launch the ball that high. So if you're looking for something that will help you get more air under your ball when you're teeing off, you might want to look at the other options that are available either in this list or on the market. But while some may see this lower launch angle as sort of a downside, we like to think of it as more of a perk when it comes to hitting the ball into the wind, where you're looking for a more piercing sort of strike and ball trajectory. So overall, it's very easy to say that this driver is perfectly suited for beginners and less experienced drivers, just by basing yourself off of its perk or off of its performance when you're trying it out. But overall, if you're looking for something that launches the ball slightly higher, you have other options. Generally speaking, any beginner or less experienced golfer that takes this driver in their hands or in their bag will be able to rely on it time and time again. And the best part is you only have to pay a fraction of the price of brand new drivers for performance that'll be able to match them time and time again. Now that we reached the end of our list, you might feel a bit overwhelmed with all the information I would share with you. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna recap every single driver with a quick one-liner, just summarizing their performance and what they can bring to you when you're out on the golf course. We first look at the Cobra Darkspeed Max driver, perfectly suited for golfers looking for a draw bias in their ball strike. Then we look at the TalyorMade Qi10 Max, which is probably the best option for golfers with a sizable budget. Third, we look at the Ping G430 Max driver, which is ideal for golfers with a high handicap index. Then came the Titleist TSr2, which offers plenty of adjustability with its multiple adjustments. The Srixon ZX5 MKII provides high spin levels for better launch conditions. The 2023 Cobra RX offset driver is perfect for golfers looking to counter a slice. Then we look at the Callaway Rogue ST Max driver, which is the perfect option for golfers looking for more distance off the tee. Then came the Cleveland Launcher XL Lite draw driver, which is perfectly suited for golfers with slower swing speed looking to fight off the slice. Our second to last selection was the Wilson Dynapower carbon driver, which is the most underrated model of all the ones in this list today. Finally, we looked at the Cleveland HiBore XL driver, which is, in my opinion, the best budget option in the list we had today. If you want to see the complete report or take a closer look at any of the drivers mentioned in today's video, make sure you head to the links down in the description. Finally, before we let you go, we'd just like to remind you to leave a like on this video and subscribe to Golf Avenue's channel if you enjoyed the content and if you want to see more useful golf content in the future. It really helps us out, and it really lets us know that you're appreciating whatever we're putting out in the moment. And if you've got any ideas for future videos, make sure to let us know down in the comments and letting us know what you want to see next. If you want to see more content from us, or if you want to see how Cobra drivers stack up against one another, make sure you click on the video right over here. We took them out for a spin on our TrackMan Power Simulator just to see how they measure up against one another and see which one came out on top. For Golf Avenue, I've been Lou. Until next time, see ya. What are you still doing here?